What's the weirdest flex you have? I work the overnight shift and still get 8 hours of uninterrupted quality sleep every day. Now this is a flex. I've been booed by 10,000 people at once. I know athletes and celebrities have been booed by more people, but I'm neither. I was randomly picked out of the crowd at an NBA game to attempt a 3-point shot, to win everyone a free pizza. I bricked it. That's awesome. Rob Zombie accidentally punched me. Kyle Gass of Tenacious D accidentally punched me in the teeth with a microphone, lol. He was performing with his personal band, covering a Boston song, and was jumping around the audience. When the chorus came on, he shoved the microphone in my face, but I leaned forward at the same time to sing it and he smacked me in the teeth accidentally. He was so startled that he pulled the mic back and said sorry. Into it. My teeth are fine, it was just hilarious. I have dextrocardia. As in, my heart is on the right-hand side of my chest. My heart defects all fall under an even rarer condition called CHARGE syndrome. CHARGE is an acronym for different health complications. CHARGE is so rare that I was like the third known case of its kind on the whole island when I was born. I'm a popular you'll never see this again in your career examination subject with student doctors and that. I can always pick the exact right size container to put leftovers in. Mom? Oh, this shit is grandma level. I can get rid of hiccups on demand. Like without fail, if I have hiccups I can just think about it and they go. The next evolution of humankind. Truly, he is homo superior. In the 90s I worked as customer service for an airline ticket seller. They just started a website, this was like 97 or so, and I was in their first internet customer service agent training. Didn't learn a thing. Anyways, as I was doing the job I realized I was getting the same questions over and over again. Standard procedure was to email back and have to type out the same message again and again. So I, being the young, tech-savvy guy, very few of us back then, just made a window file and typed out the responses, then cut and pasted when I got those emails. So most customer service agents did maybe 30 to 40 emails a day. I was doing 200 to 250. I was doing so many that when the big wigs were visiting the call center, the COO came to talk with me and asked me how I was able to answer as many customers as I was. Dumb young me explained what I had done creating canned responses for the company. She asked me to email my list to her. I did, and soon the entire company was using it. I didn't get any credit, or money, or a promotion. Nada. I left that place like a month later cause I was 18 and hated the hours. I have donated over 15 gallons of blood. All at once? He never said it was his blood. I got picked up in a white van as a child by a stranger to get a lift to somewhere 5 minutes away. I was in the back off the van for half an hour, then they opened the door at the place I was trying to go. To this day I'm not sure, but I think a pedophile changed his mind. This also happened to me. When I got out of the car running up to my babysitter's house, she ran out going, "Who is that? Why are you with a stranger?" And I was just like, oh yeah, oops. A tree fell on me in 2021 and broke all my ribs, my spine, and popped both my lungs. I dragged myself out and survived long enough, slowly drowning in my own blood, and internally bleeding out, to be found and get airlifted to a trauma ward. So I got almost as much metal grafted to my bones as Wolverine, though I don't flex much because I got so much metal making me rather stiff and rigid. I know how to program in Fortran. I'll admit, it works on an increasingly smaller segment of the population, but it's all I have. Buddy, that's job security for the next 20 years. I have won a little company award at the theme park I work at. For my barista skills. 3 times. Please don't quit, please don't quit, please don't quit. I can read hieroglyphics, ancient Greek and Latin. Wow. How did you learn hieroglyphics? Any resources publicly available you could point me to? I'm an archaeology major and one of the options was ancient Egyptian. Sorry, I don't know any external sources. Drunk with my father-in-law at my 40th and we both ended up taking a piss in the garden. He told me that I had a very good stream, and I've worn that badge with pride ever since. Reminds me of a funny story. I was diving with a friend and his dad, and went to the restroom. I went to a urinal, his dad to a stall. Start peeing and hear him say, "Oh, I hear you over there like you still have a prostate." I had to take an IQ test when I was being evaluated for ADHD and apparently I am in the 99th percentile in spatial reasoning. I can't do math or talk good, but I can pack the hell out of a suitcase. My body is weirdly good at telling which sounds to be concerned about when I'm asleep, to the point where I can generally sleep through most things that wouldn't otherwise affect me. Roadworks in the street right outside my window? No problem. Noisy neighbors deciding to do late night DIY? Easy. Street racers? Didn't even realize they were there. But the lock on the front door being fiddled with, despite the sound having to travel down the hall and through a closed bedroom door? I'm wide awake. Footsteps in the hallway? It's probably just the SO, but wake up just in case. Someone put a hand on a door handle somewhere in THR flat? It's not the bedroom door handle, but what if it is though? Better wake up. The problem I have is actually getting to sleep in the first place. I'm American but can eyeball a space or item length using the metric system with scary accuracy. My coworkers wondered if I was a robot at times. Edit, though in Colorado, I worked for a Danish company manufacturing wind turbines. I eventually worked on the road to climb them. So the estimates were generally fiberglass component length. I survived 9 heart attacks before I turned 40. I have 4 stints following 3 angiograms and 1 open heart surgery with vein transfer. That failed. I've been in heart failure status for a year. But honestly, I'm healthier than I was a year ago. A year ago couldn't walk half a mile. Now can walk 3 miles without issue. I even survived COVID this year after 2 years of isolating. I very indirectly was responsible for an A-list rugby player getting suspended because of a photo of him pissing in his own mouth. A truly insane series of events, and I will not elaborate. Lol. You killed Todd Carney. Maybe. I can place every European country on the map, without borders. Hey, if there's no borders, you can just put them anywhere, right? He technically didn't say he can place them in the right place. I recently had a neuropsychological exam done. In the portion testing semantic fluency, I had to list as many animals as I could as fast as I could. I scored in the 97th percentile. I know my animals. And on the ascending numbers trail making test, a task requiring visual scanning, processing, and sequencing, I scored in the 88th percentile. But that's more of a general flex and not particularly weird. Animals will never get the drop on me. I will recognize them faster and more accurately than the overwhelming majority of people who have taken that specific test. I'm a chick and can leg press more than all my male friends and my boyfriend. My personal record is 490 pounds and I'm 5'2" and 110 pounds. Edit, I should also mention that I'm a teen and so are my friends and I'm the oldest in the group. I wouldn't call that a weird flex, that's a legit impressive flex. I feel like I'm getting better at being open with my friends and in doing so, allowing them to feel they can be open with me. It means we aren't scared to talk about tough things. It's not much of a flex, but guys have went to the grave without talking about feeling, hardships or emotional trauma. Learning to be a safe person, it's a thing, while young will make your friends appreciate you all the more. It will also do wonders for your relationship so, should you have or gain one. Eminem mentioned something I said to him in one of his songs. Edit, I can't go into details without giving away a little too much personal info. I'm trying to stay anonymous here for my own sanity. But it was one of the bigger songs on his Revival album in 2017. Paul Rosenberg verified this claim. Stan? Because that's not great if so. I can tell the difference between I can't believe it's not butter and real butter. I got a perfect score on the ACT. It's a standardized test Americans take in high school. Where am I years later? Cashiering at Lowe's Lamau. I have good enough memory to know where everything is at my Costco. If someone in my house asks me where something is, I can generally picture it and its surroundings in my head and accurately tell them where it is, even if I've not seen it in a while. Best example is when my daughter came downstairs looking for a specific earring and asked if I'd seen it. I told her it was on the bookcase under her TV, top shelf, behind her copy of Carrie. She looked skeptical, but went to her room. She came back demanding to know how I did it. I just shrugged and said I saw it there a few months back when I fixed her soundbar. It's super handy now that I live with my partner and stepkids, all of whom have severe ADHD and can't find anything ever. I've been the most northern person in the world, on land. I visited Alert, Nunavut, and at one point a group of us went down to the end of the airstrip. I stepped back to take a group photo with the base in the background and I realized that apart from people under the ice in submarines or flying on a plane, everyone else in the world was south of me. It was a weird sort of realization. We then all took turns being the most northern person in the world. I got pre-approved for a mortgage. As a millennial, this feels great. I can pay rent, gas, and electricity and have money for entertainment. Guys, look. We have a rich person over here. My metabolism, I haven't gained fat my whole life even if I consistently eat junk food or don't exercise. Fuck you. Merry Christmas though, enjoy the cookies. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for daily uploads. After you've done that, check out one of our other videos.